Hey everyone, so today is part one of my wedding workflow series, and it's going to be all about that initial inquiry and getting my clients booked. Alright, so as soon as a bride or groom fills out the contact form on my website, they go directly into my client management software, which is Honeybook. I love Honeybook. If you want to try it, there is a 50% off link down below. You can always use that. It's absolutely amazing, and I love that it automatically reminds me to follow up with clients based on the workflows that I've made. So when they fill out the contact form, their information is put into Honeybook. That's where I send them the initial email back. In that initial email back, I include how excited I am for them and their wedding day. I include a link to my investment guide that walks them through a little bit about who I am and what I'm all about, and a little bit about the collections and what I offer and the services that I offer. And then also in the email, I ask them a few more questions about themselves, just so they know that I am actually genuinely interested in getting to know them. So I ask them questions like, how did they meet if they didn't tell me, or about the proposal, or what are some of their favorite things to do as a couple, and then a few other pieces of information like, are they working with the wedding planner, and are they interested in albums, because that really helps me know during the consultation how much I should talk through albums with them. And at the end of that email, I invite them to go to my Calendly page and set up a consultation. So I use Calendly. I'll have a link to it down below to have people set up meetings with me. So I put on there the days that I accept meetings, and they can go on there and just schedule it, and it's super easy instead of having to go back and forth 3 or 4 times. This is especially great during busy season when I tend to meet with a lot of people and have a lot going on. So just makes it a little bit easier, and I found that my clients really love it. So I have a consultation with all of the couples before they book, and if you want to know more about the consultation and kind of how it works, I'll have a link to another video I made going more in depth about how to have great wedding consultations. But essentially, I like to meet them just to know who they are and make sure we're a really good fit, because I take on a limited number of weddings. I want every couple to be a really great fit for me and for them for their wedding day. All right, and then I end the consultation with letting them know I want them to go home, to sleep on it, to think about it, and if they think they want to book me, just take a day or two to think through it and make sure that we're a really great fit, and then they let me know via email if they want to go ahead and move forward and book. So once they decide they want to book, I go back into Honeybook and I create a proposal for them. In that proposal, it contains their contract, and it also contains a link to their invoice. So I send this over to them, they look it over. Once they sign the contract and pay the retainer, I take 50% of their total collection up front. They are officially booked for the wedding day. Once they're officially booked, I send over a few more emails. I send them a print release, which gives them the opportunity to print their photos wherever they want. And then I also ask them to sign 2 model releases, one for each of them, so I can use the photos in my marketing. A few other things I sent over to them right after they book is a link to my preferred vendors page, which has all of the vendors that I love working with, so they know exactly who they could contact afterward. And then I also send them a link to a little get to know you questionnaire that asks them more questions about themselves, so I can get to know them a little bit more, and some information about their wedding that they have so far, like if they have a ceremony start time or anything like that. So I can get started in creating a tentative photography timeline for them, and this really helps them to get an idea of how many hours they might actually need once it gets closer to the wedding, or if they make other changes to their wedding day. In addition to those things, I also add them on social media, so I add all of my clients on Facebook, I follow them on Instagram, and then once we're friends on Facebook, I add them to a special Facebook group just for my couples. And then I also send them a link to information about their engagement session, which gives them the opportunity to schedule their session and just some things to think about, like some of my favorite locations I love to go to. And I also refer them to their bridal guide for more information about choosing outfits and stuff like that. All right, and then the last and final step of the process for them becoming officially booked is to send them my Stephanie Case bridal guide. So I send this in the mail, and it's basically just a little magazine filled with a ton of tips and tricks for how to plan their wedding day, and some really helpful information I've just learned after shooting lots and lots of weddings. And all of my couples tend to really, really love this. So just a really exciting thing to gift them right after they book, to say, hey, I'm excited for you to be one of my couples. It also gives me the opportunity to show them how much I really want to serve them throughout their wedding experience, and not just show up and be their photographer, but kind of be there along the way to help guide them through the whole experience. Alright, so that was it for part 1 of the wedding workflow, going over the inquiry and how people officially book me and what that process looks like. So if you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment below and let me know. I'll be uploading part 2 of this wedding workflow series next week, so be sure to keep an eye out for that so you can see the next step of the process and how everything goes leading up to the wedding day. Be sure to hit subscribe if you want more videos like this, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye guys!